Hello and welcome to episode 1 of Idle Research. I was given this game before release. I feel like a big shot. We're moving up in the world. Thank you so much, CryptoGrounds Games LLC, for this opportunity. And by the way, their YouTube channel is in the description below. And here we see a common name, Lava Flame 2, the developer of Legends of Eidolon. I will be operating within certain parameters and I have information about the game, so stick around. But first we're going to jump right into the tutorial, and there's a fair amount of things to cover, so let's do this right now. This game is about researching and crafting flasks to earn as much energy as possible. And they're going to guide me through the basics, which there's a fair amount of. We start with 20 energy. To start researching, click the green button, and I was clicking the green arrow. It's like when somebody points at something and you look at the finger. Not my best moments, but I've seen worse moments on this channel. So we're researching the first flask. Sweet, you just unlock the red flask. When I research a flask, I get one and I have the ability to craft them. If you look on the left, I have 1 out of 50 for the next flask. So to get more energy, I need more flask. And here I can craft my flask. It does cost 10 energy, but if you look on the top right, and I should have made a zoom in, I make 1 per second, and now I make 2 per second because I have 2 red flasks. So they want me to reach 100 energy. So it does cost you 10 energy to create a red flask, but every time you make one, it gives you more energy per second. Now this can be boosted with other flasks, we'll cover that in a moment, but that's how it works. By the way, I gave myself very little chances when it comes to reading these dialog boxes. Always the same mistake. Will I ever learn? I don't know. So if you don't understand something I say, or I miss a part somewhere, just rewind. I do my best to pay attention to what the tutorial said. Now here we're going to find a little issue with the tutorial. This is not a game breaking thing. The game is still in beta. And we're going to reach 1000 energy. Check this out. Manually crafting. Okay, you see it can be a hassle to manually craft. Click on the first slot, but I'm on the second slot. I just bought auto on the second slot. It cost me 1000 energy. But now it's 10,000 energy because the more flasks that are automated, the more expensive it is. And they want me to specifically click on the left one. So I had to wait. We'll do a jump cut. So what they should probably say is just automate any flask and it costs 1,000 instead of having to wait for 10,000. It's not a big deal, but this could be polished in my opinion. Sweet. I don't know what it said here, but let's take a look at accelerators. But it's true that my crafting is a bit slow. Well, I just started playing, of course. Accelerators are interesting. There's all sorts of them. And then there's a slider, and you can choose which percentage of your energy. And by the way, I might call it money at times because it's the commodity of the game. Usually it's money, most of the games, and this game is energy. Flask crafting speed is the only one available, and if I click on it, I put 100% of all the energy I have, but with a slider I could reduce that. Okay, so they want me to spend 5,000. That's done, and they say make sure to come back once in a while, which I will. To access research and crafting, go to the flask. Now it's time to research another one, and here I'm looking for research. There's a big green arrow. Okay, so we're gonna research this. It takes 2 minutes. One thing I realize is if I'm going to add a new flask, by the way, I gotta be ready to have automation on that spot, because doing it by hand is not great, and I want as much automation as possible. Also later on we'll test the offline gains in this game. Every game like this I want to see if offline gain is strong or not. So almost done here. I'm gonna go to the next step. done. Almost. I said it too fast. Now we're done. Orange flask. Okay. So I can craft orange flask. They don't produce energy. They provide a boost in red flask production. And the next flask will boost the orange flask effect on the red flask and so on. So there is a game with a bunch of flasks that boost each other. It's very easy trivia. If you play that game, write it down in the comment. The first person who does it, after that, if others play the game, just answer with +1, +1, +1. That's an excuse to get the comments. And also, I'm curious to see how many people play the game I'm referring to. Easy trivia. Reach 5 orange flasks. So I chose a spot that is automated, so I can make orange flask in an automated way instead of having to do it by hand. So this button, craft on, select off, I don't really understand it, but I guess I'll understand it later. If you do understand it, please let me know in the comment. Because I don't know, I'll have to play with it on my own, I guess. So these are the basics, and there's a few more things they want to explain. This displays how many flasks you will get when the craft is finished. Next to it shows how many flasks, how many you have in total. How many you have in total. So this is another part I didn't understand. Next to it shows how many you have in total. Where? So I don't understand this part. It's probably me who's mistaken with my English. And okay, I missed that part. You can toggle auto on or off. This shows all of your current flasks and how much you are making per second. Now keep researching, and 1E12 is where I prestige. Nice. Now we're going to look at lab stats in AFK mode. Lab give a rundown on what's your total flask and their effects. Nice, okay. Stats show certain boosts and everything that contributes to them. We'll look at all that today. AFK mode, I'm going to like this one. Also, there's unlockable page, which shows everything that can be unlocked in the flask. And of course, there are guides and, you know, things like this. And they say in advance, hey, it's gonna slow down, don't worry. It probably has to do with prestige. Over time, it's gonna be super fast with prestige. I'm used to these games, so I'm pretty sure of that. Hey, I can hold to craft, which I never did during this episode. Okay. So the lab looks like that. On the right, it says coming soon, not available, because the game is still being developed. It's not complete yet. Or if it's complete, it needs to be polished. Don't really understand all these things, especially if you look down, DTGTC. What is this? I don't understand this. And yes, there will be Steam achievements. Of course, they don't work because the game hasn't been released yet, but that's cool. AFK mode looks like in Perfect Hour 2, where I do my end screen. So this is where I'm going to do my end screens for this video as well. That's a cut, by the way. I waited an hour and a half. I wanted to see the offline gains. Look at that, 3.9 million energy, 2,000 red flasks, 125 orange flask. I find that pretty reasonable, as a noob at least. And now our goal is to reach 250 orange flasks to initiate the research for the following flask, which we will reach next episode. And this is the place where I just wait, because there's a few things I want to tell you about the parameters on which I will operate, as I explained earlier on. So I receive a few instructions. First instruction I receive is I'm not allowed to criticize the game at all. No, I'm kidding. He never said that. No, the real parameters are the following. I need to stop at 1E100 golden flask. So I don't know what golden flasks are, but I'll try to not stop exactly at 1E100. I'll stop before that just to make sure, because once again, the game is not completely polished. Still work to do. Do not hit flask promotion. Once again, I don't know what that is. He says something about tubes. I don't know what these are. So I'm not going to touch that button. If I were, it would probably mess up my save file. We'll see all sorts of bugs. I don't want to mess up my save file. Apparently, I'll be able to keep it too, which is pretty cool. Release between 20th of December and 10th of January. He is in college, so it will depend on that and probably other factors. Okay. The game will be free on Steam, Android, and iOS. And there will be microtransactions. When done right, I really like microtransactions because you can choose how much money you put in a game. You can go all the way and exaggerate, and I'm going to show you one day a game where I really exaggerated. Or you can be more conservative or just play free to play. So if done right, I really like microtransactions, and I really trust that Crypto would do it right, and he really listens to people's comments, so I'm not worried about that one bit. Was there any other information I'm trying to check? No. So I don't know how long it's going to take me to reach the limits that he set for now, and the goalposts will move as the game is being developed, so it might take me a while to reach these golden flasks, whatever they are, and by that time I'll probably have the freedom to go past 1E100 and click on that mysterious flask promotion. Is that prestige? Flask promotion, would that be prestige? I almost hope that it's not. And by the way, we're almost done here. That was my goal, to reach 250 orange flask. 600 seconds is 10 minutes. And next episode, we'll have the following flask unlocked and keep exploring this interesting game. By the way, I call this video Mad Sciences, and the music fits this title. I find the music interesting. Seems like we're some sort of evil sciences of sorts. Interesting. So I like the game so far. I mean, this is the type of game I always like. I mean, you know my taste by now. By the way, if you're new to this channel, I'm gonna recommend two things. At the end of the video, on the left is going to be another game from this company called Compacto, and on the right, my most successful series so far, and it will be, I think, for a long time, Idol Slayer. If you don't know about this game, I invite you to check it out. It's the one that's given me the most subscribers and views. The main playlists are in the description below. There's also other games such as Soda Dungeon 2, Nimbader's Space Drone Constructor, and a little bit of chess, mostly puzzles, and other things. Alright, so we reached our goal, and we're about to wrap this up. I think I'll do a little more click around, but yeah, that's about it. I'm fast forwarding because I'm trying to reach 10 million energy for one last automation, and then we'll be able to do the conclusion on this first episode. So much fun to play a game before it even exists. What an honor. Once again, a big thank you. And then we're gonna go. I'm gonna check out the achievement real quick, but I'll assume they will retroactively work on Steam once the game gets released, but it's in what, 2 months, 2-3 months, so yeah. Here I click on Lab, still clicking around, but we're about to click on AFK mode. There you go. So that would be it. I hope you enjoyed this first exploration on this future game. There will be more episodes. Like I said, I'll try to reach the very limits of what the game has to offer in its current state. It's in beta. We might see some strange things, but it's normal. So far, the only thing I saw is this tutorial, very minor issue. Otherwise, very enjoyable. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, please hit thumbs up and leave a comment below. If you want to support this channel, you can subscribe and hit the notification bell to make sure you don't miss future videos. There's also a Patreon link in the description below, and you can join our Discord. We've got 168 people right now, 2 developers, a YouTuber, we've got 3 moderators. We're doing pretty good, and you're gonna get a special role if you are a Patreon supporter, or if you're part of the Legends of Eidolon Guild, you get a special role, and It's also a joint Discord channel with the Beat Stickman franchise community. Anyways, check it out if you're curious. Alright, thank you for watching and see you next time.